Today we'll be installing the subframe and hopefully also both of the control arms and the shocks, springs, and maybe something else. We will see. Hello guys, so today we'll try to bring this prop shaft back to life. As you can see, it has seen some better days. This intermediate bearing is completely shot, the rubber around it is completely gone, and then also the bushing here is quite damaged also. Let's have a better look. As you can see, I tried to pull it out, but I need to press it out with packing grease inside and then hammering something of a tight diameter so it can get pushed out. Yeah, so as you can see, it's completely shot. I already started to disassemble a little bit here. I don't think there's much we can do. We'll clean up the bolts. Those bolts are new. I have a new this rubber disc. I have a new bearing. I have also a new bushing. And then basically let's just try to clean up the entire thing, and then it will be ready, I think, to go back on the car. And I think we will begin with pressing out this this bushing bearing that goes into the gearbox. So let's not waste any more time and let's get cracking. So guys, I was struggling a little bit, but then I googled and I opted for packing the hole with grease and bread, white bread, and I also put some tape around the socket so it would have a more tight fit inside the hole. And as you can see, I have pressed out the bearing. I have here with me a new BMW piece that we will be pressing in, and yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We'll clean up the prop shaft afterwards, replace the bearing. Here we have also the other shaft, the other half of it. We'll undo the nut, clean up the splines, all of that, and yeah, it will be ready for going back into the car. What you just seen me do is clean up a little bit this prop shaft. I don't think I'm gonna be painting it or anything. It's in fairly good shape. There's not a lot of rust. There's a bit of surface rust, but it's not a big deal. Nothing is gonna happen there. And you can see the difference. This is the half that is not cleaned, and this is the half that is cleaned, and it's fairly nice. It's been all this tar and undercoating and I don't know what else here, and you see me also heat it up a little bit just because it comes off a little bit easier. So yeah, I'll continue cleaning up, and then we will continue with removing the bearing here, the center bearing, and then I don't know, maybe I'll hit this joint a little bit with the wire wheel. We'll see, I don't know, maybe I'll give it a coat of paint. I'm not 100% decided yet. So let's just first clean it up, see how it looks, and then we'll decide if we need to paint or not. So I took off the circlip and the dust cap here from the bearing, and I cut out the whatever left over rubber that was holding it in place, and removed it. Now I need to, I don't know, press out somehow this bearing. I'm not sure I have a puller at home that should slide out here somehow. I don't know how I'm gonna take this out yet, but I'm going to somehow. I have managed to take off the wheel bearing. I applied some heat, so this rubber insert just fell apart. So that's trash. And then I used this type of puller that basically slides on behind, and then there's a second half that locks it together. And of course this shaft was too long to use what it was designed for. However, I tried to get creative and I threaded in the bolts, and then as it was installed, I basically used the two-jaw puller, grabbing on the what do you call it, this end of the bolt that this has a lip, like a washer. And yeah, after much of struggling, I finally got it out. It's I also applied a bit of heat, so it should come off now. I ruined the dust cap, of course, but I have the new bearing that I'll show you in a second. Yeah, and it has a built-in dust cap already, so when it's gonna press in, it's gonna be instead of this cap here. As you can see, it was just a simple lip. So yeah, I'll double check the diagram just to make sure that I don't need to buy this separately, which would suck. That means I need to wait for more parts, but other than that, it's off now. It was a bit of a pain in the butt. And what do you know, guys, I had to order this dust cap. As you remember, this is the old one, and I destroyed it when I was removing the bearing. So this is the bearing, the old one. Anyways, so I checked the diagram, and yeah, surprise surprise, I needed to order it, so now it's in. So that is very good. Anyways, let's continue with putting everything back together on this side of the prop shaft, and yeah, maybe I'll do a little bit more cleaning on this end now that everything is off, and we'll continue with putting the dust cap and the new bearing. Quick update, guys. So I have cleaned up the other half of the prop shaft. It's a little bit rusty here in the end, but I don't think I'll be doing anything to rectify it or anything like that. The U-joint is not serviceable here, and yeah, and I cleaned up also this side a little bit. Everything was nice and smooth, and so we will continue with the bearing pressing. There was no easy way to film this, guys, but I managed to hammer it in, and because there's no easy way to kind of film this because there's no space, so basically what I have done is I have what I've done is I took the old piece of bearing, and I put it in a vise like that, or on top of the vise, and then I lowered, of course, this part down, and then I was hitting on this part on the top, and basically that's how I pressed it in. The same goes for the dust cap that is sitting behind here. So all we have left is just wipe it down, clean up the dust cap, and clean up the washer, and it will be good to go. It will be done. A couple of splines have, as you can see, the couple of splines have they were hit or something, so I need to sand them a little bit or file them down so they go inside the other half. But other than that, it's nice and good, so I'm quite happy with the results. Let's just move on. So guys, there we have it, assembled and ready to install. I think the only thing what we will do now is we'll just add the flange, the flex disc on the other side, and also we will put in the bushing on that side, and yeah, it will be ready to install. These are the two marks from the factory, so that is good. Yeah, let's just put in the bushing on the other end here real quick, and also slap on the flex disc. Back at the table here, so we'll press in the bushing, and I have the bushing right here, and that's the bushing. Original BMW part, yes. And also I got myself here a flex disc, which is also good. It's a brand new one. Yep, the arrows need to point towards the flange, so like that. So yeah, new bolts, as the old ones are also here, but they're, yeah, no bueno. So yeah, very good, very good. So you just saw me put in the bushing here, protruding 4.5 millimeters. That's what I was doing there. And also we bolted up and torqued the bolts here for the flex disc. Arrow is pointing, as we can see, towards the flange, and the other arrows will be pointing to the gearbox flange. And speaking of the gearboxes, in the next video we will be rebuilding the shifter linkage, changing the oil seals on the gearbox, and we will be installing the shifter linkage back onto the car. I think for this video it will be the end, and thanks for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.